CM Punk apparently agreed to return to AEW. A top WWE star is yet to sign a new contract, and we've got a big open challenge set for WrestleMania 39. Stay tuned for all the deets. We're back once again with your WrestleMania Night 1 daytime prior to WrestleMania, even pre-show by quite a lot of... Yeah, well, like the pre-show for the pre-show, but we're back with more news for you, and we're going to be kicking things off with some news from the other side of the wrestling fence regarding CM Punk. Now, this situation has been ongoing for a considerable amount of time. Again, if you don't know what's been going on since the brawl at All Out, you where you been? What you been doing?
Patrick Starfish living under his rock.
All you need to know is that it all kicked off, and now we've got a situation in which CM Punk kind of had an outburst last week on social media and really kind of just let fly about AEW, about Jericho, about Moxley. In one post, it was very quickly deleted. But apparently, CM Punk had agreed in principle to return to All Elite Wrestling. According to Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Meltzer noted that Punk and AEW were working on a reconciliation that was at least agreed in principle to prior to his rant, as Tony Khan wanted to bring the two-time AEW World Champion back to the promotion, which, I mean, you can't blame Tony for that. It's money. CM Punk, yeah.
It's popular.
It was also speculated that Punk's return was the reason AEW were looking to move All Out from the Now Arena to the United Center in the heart of Chicago. CM Punk versus MJF 3 was the original plan for last year's Full Gear pay-per-view, so AEW may have been thinking about holding the match at All Out 2023. Fightful Select previously reported that people in AEW had lost confidence about Punk returning following his social media post, and Jim Ross did say this week, though, that he thinks AEW need Punk, and I'd agree.
I think in a certain aspect, Jim Ross is right. They do need him in a sense to bring people that are really only interested in CM Punk to the company. But at the same time, the top scene in AEW has felt more focused and more fresh since his all-out outburst and him being removed from TV. It has felt like it's been rejuvenated, and I think it's just a case of the problem was that he got injured and then Tony didn't have a backup plan. Yeah,
I think that just looking at it from the standpoint that Punk brings a lot of eyes anywhere he goes, I think, I agree with Jim Ross on that sentiment, but I think that it makes sense the company should be looking to bring him back. It's a very awkward, very difficult situation that got physical, it got very heated, it got very emotional, and there's still clearly residual tensions there given the quickly deleted social media post and given the fact he's not been back yet. But I think that if there is a means of reaching that suitable conclusion with all parties happy, then great. But if not, it means that, there's going to be somebody probably put to the side, and that may be Punk.
Yeah, unfortunately, it might be Punk. But, it's interesting that he had agreed in principle to return, and then he posts on social media, and that kind of ruins it. So there must be something missing in this.
But there's likely going to be a lot of things that we don't ever really find out about. It'll be 20 years from now, some shoot video, and it'll be like, oh really? That's what happened. That's what happened. Wow. But it's one of those he said, she said situations, but I'm sure that if anything more breaks, we'll know about it. And if Punk returns, you'll all know about it because it'll happen. But moving over to WWE now, we've got talks of a re-signing. So while his WWE contract expires after WrestleMania 39, Logan Paul doesn't look set to depart the company anytime soon. He revealed to Ariel Helwani of BT Sport that his WWE deal is up on April 1st and that he was contracted for a year to work 2 WrestleManias and 5 events. The YouTuber then noted it's unlikely that he's done with WWE, as he's interested in remaining with the company. A new deal has apparently been discussed, although he's yet to put pen to paper on a contract extension. Paul then added that WWE would be silly not to renew his deal, and
he's spot on there.
Again, it's a similar situation. He's bringing a lot of people over to watch his match at the very least in any of these situations, or his segment at the very least in these situations. And the hope is that you're going to be able to transform some of that casual audience into more long-term viewers, right?
Absolutely. And he's really, really talented in the ring.
Yeah, he's tucked to it like a duck to water.
So it makes sense that WWE would maybe... He's spot on when he says they'd be silly not to renew it. He brings, as you said, the eyes to the product. He's really good at what he does. He's got a lot of crossover appeal.
Yeah.
And it's strange that when you put him in a match at WrestleMania with Seth Rollins, it doesn't feel unnatural. Like, that feels like a big match.
Like, I guess, you know, from the past that we've had with quite a lot of the celebrity cameos and celebrity stints in WWE, we were kind of preconditioned to just think and prepare for the worst. But this has really bucked that trend, hasn't it? So it's sort of
like this time last year.
There's no way they can't renew his contract.
Exactly. This time last year, he obviously signed a contract with WWE for numerous matches. But like going into that WrestleMania where he was against the Mysterios and he was teaming with Miz, it was like, right, it's a celebrity match. But now it's like, it's Logan Paul versus Seth Rollins. They're going to do some great stuff. It's going to be insane, I imagine. He's going to be bigger.
We've seen him, put his body on the line so far, going way above and beyond what we'd expect any sort of cameo appearance to be. And that collision with Ricochet, just but keeping it with contracts, we've got a report from PW Insider that, as per multiple sources, Drew McIntyre's WWE contract is in its final year and that they aren't even close to agreeing on a new deal. The report does note that his contract isn't up imminently, but it is in its final year. So no word on exactly when it's set to expire, but it's this year at some point.
I would imagine WWE will try to keep him signed to a deal. He's someone that I can see AEW and New Japan and Impact as well, making a big play for.
Drew's proved that he can go anywhere and make himself that draw, right?
Exactly.
He did the Cody before Cody.
Exactly. He did do Cody before Cody. So I'm hoping WWE keeps him because he's still got so much potential in that field.
It's and you know he's a Scottish talent. You have a very big British fan base, and you know he is he's
Pride
one of the
joy.
people that we root for because you know home country boy. So
pride and joy of Scotland. That one. Love him. We love him up there.
Well, moving back to AEW, apparently on Dynamite, Tony Khan is promoting a huge announcement.
What? Another
one for AEW Dynamite. The All Elite Wrestling CEO revealed during the pre-Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor media call that this was going to happen. A huge announcement set for Dynamite. Khan stated during the media call that he had very exciting news to share on the April 5th episode, and he believes that it's going to generate a lot of news coverage. The AEW president then continued to state throughout that the news was a huge announcement. Which
I get the vibe. It might be a huge announcement.
Could it be Jay White?
I mean, that would certainly be noteworthy, buzzworthy, but something that can generate a lot of news and interest.
We're firing the Elite. It's going to be called All Punk Wrestling, and it's only happening in Chicago.
That would 100%
CM Punk is in every match.
Yeah.
And he wins every match.
And he books everything. And
he also referees, and he's got ice cream bars.
And he's on commentary.
No, I think it's Jay White is the hottest free agent in wrestling right now, but that would feel... the last kind of reports we heard indicated that it was looking more like he was set to go to WWE.
Yeah.
So it could be anything. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that this could align with, and the huge announcements haven't always been spectacularly huge.
They've not been pretty big.
Some of them have been massive, but some of them are just kind of like, oh, okay.
I mean, the last one was AEW All Access, but I think that maybe could be something to do with the video game, or it could be something to do with, they've got a big UK show coming up at some point soon.
On the point of that UK show, they are set to provide an update on plans for the United Kingdom debut of AEW very, very soon, according to Tony Khan, when he talked to TalkSport. He said the announcement about AEW in London is coming very, very soon. I don't want to say exactly when, but believe me, it'll be very soon. The fact is, we're getting closer and closer on all the details you mentioned, dates, venues, etc. That there are a lot of details to work out on such a major event as this, but all the major details are coming into place. We're very close to having all the information ready to announce, so it's to come together very quickly. People are going to be very excited when they hear about this. It's going to be a very special event. I think it will be one of the greatest events in AEW's history, certainly befitting of our debut in London, which is a city that I love so much. It's so close to my heart. And for everybody there, all the wrestling fans there, I cannot wait to do it, and it feels like coming home to me. So I'm very excited about it. You know what you do? You book Wembley, you make tickets affordable, and you don't release them as a package.
No, you don't do that.
You release them as individual tickets. Because that was a nightmare for Money in the Bank.
Do it up here at St. James's Park.
Yeah, do it at St. James's Park.
And then we can just go after work.
I can literally just stroll over from my house. It'd be great.
We could do that. Now, to me, that sounds like it could be possibly this huge announcement that he's teasing for April 5th. Obviously, he spells quite a lot out there. So if it was that announcement, it'd be weird for him to be like, we're doing a big announcement. Oh, by the way, we're going to London soon and we've got all the little details ready. And
you've got to think that whatever the announcement's going to be, it's going to be big enough to disrupt whatever's coming out the back end of Mania, right? Because that's what's going to dominate the headlines next week is going to be WrestleMania Fallout in its entirety. And if it's Cody Rhodes, former AEW star, dominating all those headlines, AEW are kind of going to need something just to dangle there and really, get the news looking back at them for that little bit. But I wouldn't be surprised if it was the London announcement, but at the same time, why would you kind of tease it and then go somewhere else and immediately talk about it?
I'm very, very excited for when AEW comes to London. I've been wanting to see AEW live for quite a while. You've had the pleasure of going to see AEW live. You went to the first one. Yeah. So it should be a really good show. I imagine it will be very hard to get tickets for in the UK because it will sell
It's going to be like gold dust, right?
Yeah.
And not dusting.
Not
the actual gold dust. But moving back to WrestleMania, rounding things out here because it is WrestleMania weekend. If you didn't know, get hyped. Get hyped right now. WrestleMania 39, night 1 tonight, beginning kickoff show at like 11 p.m. But
WrestleMania. You seem excited.
Last night on SmackDown, we had the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, didn't we?
We did. So following this victory in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, Bobby Lashley, who won it, took to Twitter and issued an open challenge for WrestleMania. He said, "I'll say it once again, I am free Saturday and Sunday. You can't have hashtag WrestleMania without the Almighty. You just can't."
And that pose, I need to see that pose on the ramp.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the old butt pose.
He'll look like an Oscar. He'll look like an Academy Award on the top of the ramp, won't he?
Maybe that's what they all do. Maybe instead of the ring cart, they've just got a little plinth with wheels.
But he has the little... He's got the round thing. He's got the round... he better do an Academy Award thing. Film Jack needs to see this. But he said, whoever wants to test me, step up. It did look like originally he was going to face Bray Wyatt. Obviously, plans have changed.
Very confusing situation. Bray just kind of was like, whoever wins out of Brock and Bobby, I'm going to face you at Mania.
Yeah.
And this has just sort of quietly went down. We have heard that Uncle Howdy is potentially in town, but maybe not Bray.
Maybe not Bray, but Uncle Howdy, of course, Bo Dallas is supposedly in Los Angeles. No word on Bray Wyatt there. Not surprising.
It's important to note that Bo Dallas is Liv Morgan's partner as well, so he may just be in town to be in town.
Yeah.
So
Bobby Lashley, as I said, won that Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Good to see him getting some exposure there. He looked like a star, but the most over person in the match was, of course, L.A. Knight. Yeah, and it was great.
You've got to imagine that that's going to somehow make its way a little bit.
I hope they do something.
Come on, a big grand stage for LA Knight. I need to see it.
I hope they do something at WrestleMania together. What have we got? Have we got something to plug?
Well, we do. We've got to just plug the fact that it's WrestleMania 39, and because it's WrestleMania 39, if you go to cultaholicshop.com, you can get 39% off nearly everything on the site.
For everything. Your discount is applied at checkout,
including all the new fancy hoodies and stuff.
All the good stuff.
Delicious.
Go and get it.
Go get it. We've also got a load of content coming out. We've, of course, got, was it NXT Stand and Deliver from 6 p.m.?
6 p.m.
British time.
Yeah.
That's going to be twitch.tv/Cultaholic with Jack and Ross. And then moving on to tonight, we have the live reactions, don't we? Kicking off at 11
p.m., I believe, for the pre-show. We've got Adam, Andrew, and Tom on that one. Then we've got What Happened At.
We'll have news. We'll have WTF to follow. We'll have everything that you'd expect coming out of WrestleMania. It's going to be a very busy, very hectic time, but I hope you all have a wonderful one. We may be back a little bit later on if there's any more news breaks. Again, it is WrestleMania weekend. There are a lot of shows happening. There's a lot of things going on. We've obviously got the build toward NXT tonight as well. So any number of things could break. We may see you again, but if not, have a wonderful night one. We will see you again for night 2.